AJ, what's happening, man?
What is up, Studley man?
You good? You look good.
Well, man, as you know, it's a lot of work, so I'm getting in the best shape of my life. I mean, a lot of dancing.
Tonight, AJ will be dancing to Larger Than Life by his band, the Backstreet Boys, on Dancing with the Stars. Did they come to you and say at some point you have to do a Backstreet Boys song, or did you go to them and say, hey, let's do it?
When we first started everything, like about a week prior to getting into the first couple of weeks of actual dance rehearsal, they had asked, can we do a Backstreet Boys song this season? And I said, I totally, of course. I mean, it's a really big part of my story. It's still part of my life. I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon, week 4, but yeah, I mean, I'm stoked, and it's going to be one heck of a performance. I'll tell you that.
Are you having more fun doing this show than you thought you would?
Yes, I am. It is a lot of work, as I'm sure you can recall. A lot of hours, a lot of stuff that goes on in between the dance rehearsals, like going and doing your package interviews and the press and, this, that, and the other photo shoots and stuff. It's definitely a lot more work, I would say, than putting an actual tour together.
Wow. And you and Cheryl Burke, you guys get along pretty well?
We are like two peas in a pod. I'll tell you what, we have very similar personalities. We're both sober. Yeah, man, she's the OG. So, I'm definitely trying to take in as much from her as I can. The biggest thing that she's taught me is to just embrace the process, and it's a marathon, not a sprint.
All right, have you lost any weight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I knew that I was doing the show about 6 months ago, I actually got back in the gym virtually with my trainer, and I lost about 17 pounds before we started. And once we've started now, I've lost another probably 8 pounds, and I'm pretty much just becoming skin and muscle right now.
The thing that people will ask me about that show, like people that are going on the show, some people will reach out, and I say, hey, you really got to take care of your body before it gets hurt to keep it from getting hurt, because once you're injured, you're performing from a deficit, and it's hard to ever get it back healthy because you're training every single day. Are you doing anything to make sure that your body is just staying as best shape as it can be?
One of the first things that Cheryl asked me to do is to stop lifting while I'm doing the show. She had one of her celebs get really badly injured and had to bow out because of that. But I'm definitely still doing a lot of core working out, mainly doing lots of leg stuff, core workout still when I'm home before I get to rehearsal, as well as lots and lots of stretching and using one of those massage guns on my legs before rehearsal, doing whatever I can, just drinking lots of water and still eating really, really well as well.
When I started, my mouth was open. I danced because I'd never danced before, but I would dance. My mouth was all like this as I would dance.
That's exactly how I do it, dude.
Yeah.
The first couple dances, and then I went back and I actually watched a couple of Nick's dances, and he does the exact same thing. I'm like, why can't I just smile like a human being? Why do I look like a Venus flytrap when I'm dancing? But, last week, Disney week, I was definitely smiling much more. There was no open gaping mouth. So I'm getting into it,
When the odds first came out, you were the number one favorite to win at 4-1. Now, does that put a pressure on you because people know you have some Backstreet Boy experience dancing on stage, or do you like that?
At first, yeah, it was definitely a bit of a shock. And yes, that is a lot more pressure to actually take on. But at the same time, I've tried to let people know that even though I've got 30 years under my belt and I've been dancing most of my life, I've been forced to kind of have to reprogram everything I know that's in my body to do ballroom. I've never done ballroom in my entire life, so I never knew about a frame. I never knew about kicks and flicks. I never knew about any of this stuff. So it is still a real challenge to kind of, just erase 30 years of, dance technique and then start like a newborn learning how to walk.
What'd you think about Carol Baskin? Did you spend any time with her?
You know what? I just got to say, she is one of the sweetest women I've met. She was very down to earth. Obviously, everybody, unless you were living under a rock, watched Tiger King. and it was phenomenal. But at the same time, obviously depicted her in a certain light. And when you get to spend quality time with her, obviously 6 feet apart, she's really sweet. And I feel like people were finally starting to kind of get to know another side of her. And then unfortunately, she got taken off the show. But I'm sure she's happy being back home with her big cats, and she is still doing something really, really good. So I wish her all of the best, and she will be missed.
Well, now it's the time, too, at least 2 seasons ago when I was on, where you start making money every week that you stay on. Because the first couple weeks, they give you that, you're paid a set amount. But now you're playing for money, AJ. You got to dance for money, baby.
Yeah, hey, man, I got to, Papa needs a brand new pair of Nikes, and Mommy needs a new dress, and my girls need new school supplies. So, since we're not touring for an undisclosed amount of time, got to do what you got to do, and hopefully take home that mirror ball, man. I want to follow in your footsteps.
You don't want to do that. Otherwise, tonight, everybody listening right now, listen, I love AJ. Tonight his number, and it will be all season, is 21523. You can text AJ to 21523. He'll dance tonight. He'll be awesome. He's doing a Backstreet Boys song. You ever see my girl Sharna?
I do, actually. She's actually dancing with my new friend, Mr. Jesse Metcalf, and she definitely says hello to you and to my bandmate Nick. And she's been killing it. She got a slight injury earlier in the season with her ankle, but she's been trucking along.
Yeah, she danced with Nick, and they didn't win. Wow. And Nick's a really good dancer. And then she dances with me, and she does. I remember seeing Nick. I saw Nick in L.A., and he was like, hey, man, we were like 2 weeks from the finale, and he was like, hey, man, how's the season going? I'm like, I don't know how much longer I can hold on. And he was like, dude, you're going to win the thing, and you suck. And I was like, I know.
Hey, man, that's why I keep telling everybody, like, may the best man or woman win, because it really is anybody's game. At the end of the day, what I've learned is it's really about the journey, and it's about your story. I mean, obviously, none of us, whether you have dance experience or not, none of us are ballroom dancers. So it's really anyone's game at this point, and we still got 7 weeks to go. So who knows? But I do really want to take home that mirror ball. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Especially for my kids,
Well, the 2 things to do: 1, stay healthy, and 2, make sure people love you, because your dance score is going to go up and down a little bit each week. But if you have the people's vote, you're unstoppable. As that's what I did. You're unstoppable on that show. So, AJ, good luck, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you, man.
I love watching you out there. I love Cheryl. Tell her I said hello, and we'll talk to you in a few weeks when you're still on. All right, bud?
Yes, man. That sounds amazing. Good to see you, brother. And, yes, everybody, thank you so much for your votes. And vote again tonight.
Yeah, text AJ to 21523 as the show is going on. AJ, talk to you soon, bud.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man. Be safe.
There he is, AJ McLean. I tell you, when I was on the show, the first 2 weeks you just get your check. They're like, here's the money you get for doing the show. Everybody gets the same amount of money. Doesn't matter how big a star you are or me. Everybody gets the same amount of money. And so they're like, here's your check. And then week 3, you start to make, for the next couple episodes, you make $10,000 a week.
Pressure's on.
Yeah. So about week 5 or 6, it goes up to like 25 a week.
Wow.
And then it goes up to 50 a week.
Wow.
And then it gets super competitive because people want to make the money. It's not just about dancing.
Yeah. So when you get kicked off at that point, you're like really upset.
You are, but mostly you just put so much work in that you're like, dang, it's both. But
that's awesome.
It's a Bobby Bones show.